We move on to the second presenter for the evening, architect Ravi Kanhere. Architect Ravi Kanhere completed his graduation in the year 2000 from BKPS College of Architecture, Pune University. He started his professional career at Kenarch Architects, Pune in the year 2002. His projects encompass variety of building typologies, that is private residences, group housing, educational and institutional buildings, and also recreational and industrial buildings. He has traveled extensively to study traditional response to architecture, in addition to keeping up with the contemporary trends. He is a strong believer that architecture must address climatic, psychological, and emotional needs of the end user. He feels that in today's fast changing world, the ever growing burden of usage on the artificial energy resources is immense, and it is our responsibility to ease that burden by creating climate responsive architecture. Indian culture and traditional architecture has always been responsive to climate. Hence, we as architects need to look back and take cues from the past and address the current situations for a better future. He has won several awards for his exemplary work, which include Aesa Awards in the year 2008, 2011, 2013, 2023, and also the year 2025. He was also shortlisted for an IIA award in 2021. His works have also been published in several national level magazines. His contribution to academics as guest and visiting lecturer have benefited the students greatly. He is also the ex-chairman of Aesa, where he strived to uphold the contributions of the architects to the city of Pune. Now, please welcome architect Ravi Kanhere for his presentation.
Respected dignitaries and all my dear friends. I can see Kushru over here. Rahul is there, Sandeep is there. So, usually for such presentations, you have butterflies in the stomach. And while I was discussing this thing in the office, I said, let me not prepare anything. Let it come straight from my heart. Because this project is straight out of heart. This project, so first of all, I would like to thank Aesa for hosting these awards for so many years. I think this is the 30th year of the award, 33rd year of the award. And these awards are really unique in a way because these are not like other awards where the projects are judged only by looking at beautiful photographs and drawings. But here a set of expert jury members, very stalwart professionals, come and actually visit your site. They see it, they experience it, and then they make their assessments based on what they see in presence of all the stakeholders, that is the client and all other team members who contribute to the project. So in a way, these awards are really special because you show all the sides of the project, not unlike the photographs which usually show only the beautiful side of the project. And you can experience it spatially, ventilation, light, you can actually see it and experience it. So I feel really hats off to Aesa for having these awards and consistently for last 30 years. When I said that this project is straight out of my heart, this project is primarily very close to my heart for two reasons. The first one is I've been a badminton player, and as the title suggests, it's a badminton hall. And I've been playing for last 25, 30 years. So I've played at almost all the locations or venues at Pune. And being an architect, it always, you keep on telling to yourself that, oh, light should have been better. The shuttle is drifting slightly here and there. So the basic fundamentals of the sport, badminton, need to be taken care of. So that is the first reason why this is close to my heart. And the second was when I learned that this was to be designed on top of an existing building, which was designed by my college professor, a very what I can say, a beloved professor, architect Saugule sir, from his office, because architect Raju Zadav sir is also here. He is the actual person who has worked on it. So for me, Chougule sir passed away 3-4 years back, I think, prior to this project. And it made me very nostalgic. Because as a student, I always, or rather I felt this responsibility of paying my tribute to my professor. So this project is actually a tribute to architect Chougule sir. I'm sure had he been today alive, he would have carried me on his shoulders. So well, how do we move? So a good design but poorly built, or a bad design which is well built, both are failures. And this is where Aesa awards stand, its testimony towards good architecture, good buildings. And to create a good product, I would say, it's a teamwork and everybody contributes to it. It's like music, that, somebody's playing a tabla, somebody's playing the sitar, and everybody has to match those wavelengths. Sarita More madam is here. She's an NAP consultant. So I'm sure you would be able to relate with what I'm saying here. Next. So let me set the rules first, because there might be people who might not be knowing about badminton. So the beginnings of badminton can be traced back to mid-18th century British India, where it was created by British military officers stationed there. Being particularly popular in the British garrison town Pune, which is now Pune, the game also came to be known as the Pune game. This game was taken by the retired officers back to England, where it developed and rules were set out. And today's badminton, what we see, this photo is a great representation of a very powerful smash. So it's a very fast-paced and a very dynamic sport which requires great athleticism. Next. Now it is very much popular with you have Sindhu and Laksha Sen. So if you look at this diagram, what you see is the playing area is around 6.1 meters by the length is around 13.41. But apart from that, what as a player, when I saw all these other badminton halls, they were the surrounding areas or the spillover areas, I would say, after your playing area were very narrow, and many a times accidents have happened. People getting into others' court, banging other players. So this was primarily in our mind to fundamentally how do you create a better facility for the sport. So if you see, you have this 2 meter and 2 meter on the longer side, and on the wider side, that is 1.5 meters. So that is the area what is required. And this venue was, if you look at Deccan Gymkhana particularly, so Deccan Gymkhana lies in the heart of Pune city, amidst very lush green area. And Deccan Gymkhana is very popular for tennis. So, international tournaments also take place in Deccan Gymkhana. To tell you a little bit about the legacy of Deccan Gymkhana, the world number one, Aranya Sabalenka, many years back, she won the Deccan Gymkhana ITF championship. MR Raducanu, if anybody is knowing about tennis. So that is the kind of legacy which Deccan Gymkhana carries. And I always felt that, badminton should also be part of that legacy. So you create a great infrastructure where I won't be surprised tomorrow if Laksha Sen or PV Sindhu comes here and plays a match. Next. So if you see, the individual court area is around 1,700 square feet. And for 4 courts, you require around 7,000 square feet. Next. It's working? Pointer is working. Yeah, so this is the overall site layout, and that's the aerial photograph. So this is the cricket stadium. That's where you enter, and you have these you know, basketball and tennis courts. So these are these basketball and tennis courts. And this is that building, which was an existing building. And on top of it, we were asked to design this badminton hall on a terrace. Next. Yeah, so these are some photographs of the building taken before. So that's where you enter. The first floor is the gymnasium. The second floor is for table tennis, and the top floor. This is how the terrace was, where there was around 9 to 10 inches thick waterproofing. And he is architect Pradeep Chaugule, popularly known as Nanu Chaugule. Next. And that is the kind of view what you get from the terrace. So when you visit the site, you kind of try to look at these things and try to incorporate them into your work. Next. So most of you must have been to Deccan Gymkhana, and if you look at Deccan Gymkhana, the old structures like the Atle Pavilion and the Talim Pavilion, they had this influence of typical British colonial style with sloping roofs and very low structures. So then we were trying to look at different sports complexes, different places, and this is what struck me. So this is the Lord's Cricket Stadium, one of the most popular and where cricket was born actually. And this is the old pavilion building. And I think quite recently they constructed this TV pavilion. So this is the new one. So having these two diverse or diversely opposite examples within one campus, it made us think that should we really have such kind of a thing? Give the whole thing a modern identity or give this kind of identity. So similar challenge was there because there were people with opinions that no, whatever you're doing is not as per the buildings at Deccan Gymkhana. Character, yeah. Next. So the whole process started with trying to look at this cuboid block of the existing building and the idea of a strong dynamic form sitting on a solid cuboid base like a trophy on a strong solid pedestal. This is where the whole thought came. And then badminton necessarily needs a longer span structure to house the courts. So we are looking at a longer span. Next. The curved roof, so there was obviously we thought I will come to that later, but the curved roof complements the curved form of the building. So the front terrace was curved, which maximizes the hall volume with requiring lesser depth for the main trusses. Next. Yeah, so when we were looking at the building in section, one thing I missed out actually. So this particular building, considering the height of the badminton hall, which is around 14 meters from the roof to the floor, on top of a 14 meter or 15 meter high building, it would have made that whole building 30 meters. And that is the tallest building in that campus. And with so much of open area around, automatically it was going to be seen. So we were looking at the section, So this is that span which I'm talking about. And then looking at the floor plate also, we wanted to maximize the floor plate within that given existing terrace. So we were thinking of jetting out this spectators arena, which is this one. And then we tried out with this kind of a volume. Can you just press? Yeah. So this is the existing building. Next. Yeah, so we're looking at this kind of a rectanguloid first. And then it required, so after talking to the structure engineer, they said that this is almost 3 meter wide cantilever. And the structure engineer said, no, you'll need some columns over here. And I wasn't very comfortable with those columns because, it would have spoiled the beauty of this particular building. So then we tried, and also for this rectanguloid, the vision line. So we were trying to look at from the human scale. The vision line also went high up. So then we tried this another option wherein there was a triangular truss. So we kind of lowered this kind of a point a little bit below. But in this case also you required those additional columns to support the spectator's arena. Next. So that's what you can see. This line has lowered a little bit. Next. And then we came up with this idea wherein, if you see this option 3 green line, this visual line has been brought down substantially, and that difference was almost 2.5 meters. So it doesn't appear very imposing on the passerbys. So that's how the whole form was born, and that's how it. So this whole thing, it is like now you imagine a half-cut bangle, and hold that bangle at the top. The CG of that bangle is going to be like this. Okay. Now this is hooked on to the upper truss, which is supported on the column, vertical column. Now this curved spectator arena support is trying to push it onto the column. So it has only this motion now. I hope you are getting it, right? And when you tie these members horizontally, then it becomes rock solid. So it can take. So this spectator's arena can have has a capacity of around 300 people. So let me tell you that while the construction was going on, I called up our structure engineer, Mr. Mone, in the morning, and I said, "Sir, मला रात्री स्वप्न पडलं." म्हणलं, "कसलं स्वप्न पडलं?" नाही म्हटलं, "हे एवढी सगळी लोक तिथे 300 लोक आणि मग तो ब्रिज ऑन द रिव्हर का तो ह्याच्याने काय म्हणतात त्याला फ्रिक्वेन्सीमुळे जो ब्रिज कोलॅप्स झाला होता." म्हटलं, "हे असं तर नाही ना होणार." समवेक शंका. तर मग मी त्यांना हे सांगितलं. म्हणलं, मग त्यांनी मला ते सगळं समजवून सांगितलं आणि म्हणले की जा आता शांतपणे झोप म्हटले. कारण काय आहे की स्पोर्ट आहे, तिथे लोक येणार, उड्या मारणार, सगळ्या वयाची लोक येणार तिथे ते त्या स्पेक्टेटर अरिनावरती जेव्हा जम्पिंग होणार तेव्हा एक फ्रिक्वेन्सी तयार होते आणि त्या फ्रिक्वेन्सीमुळे असं नको व्हायला की ते कुठे फेल नको व्हायला. बिकॉज सी ॲज अ आर्किटेक्ट द रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी इज इमेन्स. म्हणजे जस्ट इमॅजिन की उद्या समजा इथे असं काही घडणार नाही 100%, 200%, पण उद्या समजा असं काही झालं तर काय होईल. So when you are dealing with public buildings, I think as an architect you have to be 100 times more responsible in all the projects, I would say. Next. So finally we focused on this option. But आता नाही ठीक आहे होतंय आता अशा बिल्डिंगच्या डोक्यावरती असा एखादा कर्ड फॉर्म ठेवायचा आणि हे कसं दिसेल, काय दिसेल. मग कर्बुझियरची बिल्डिंग डोळ्यापुढे आली, चंदीगडची, की तो जो वरचा जो कर्व आहे तो एका रिजिड जॉमेट्री असलेल्या कॉन्क्रीटच्या बिल्डिंगवर ठेवल्यावर कसा दिसतो. तर कर्बुझियर मदतीला आले की चला आपण ही नक्की वाईट नाही दिसणार, कारण ते डोळ्यापुढे चित्र होतं. नेक्स्ट. So if you look at the plans, so this is on your left is the existing terrace area. So this is that terrace. So that terrace has this south side staircase with a lift, and it has a north side staircase with again a lift. There was a cutout over here. इकडे काहीच नव्हतं, इकडे फक्त बीम्स होते, कॅन्टिलिवर्ड बीम्स. खालच्या बाजूला तिथे बाल्कनीज होत्या. And on this side, it was a pergola, kind of a canopy, and terraces below. So, like I said, the whole area was around 10,000 square feet in total. This particular area, except the staircases. Uh, the toilet blocks of the existing building were already located on this side. So it was very obvious, to locate our toilet blocks in this zone only. And then we were looking at how to maximize the floor plate. So obviously this cutout was covered. Then we extended, this line almost around 2.5 meters from this face, from this column. And then this whole area, we thought of covering it. And then we tried to place the rectangle or the block of the badminton courts, 4 in a series, with sufficient surrounding spaces around it. Next. So in short, if you look at the spatial organization, the service areas were already located towards the southern side, which act as the buffer, for this active space. Let me tell you that this whole thing, it is in 2 levels. One level is the badminton court, and the other level is the spectators area. So particularly badminton मध्ये सर्वात मोठा प्रॉब्लेम काय होतो की आता ह्या कॉम्प्लेक्समध्ये बरेचसे आईवडील त्यांच्या मुलांना घेऊन येतात कोचिंग करायला. सो इथे मेजॉरिटी कोचिंग चालतं आणि मेंबर्स लोक खेळतातच ऑब्व्हियसली. आणि बरेच वेळेला असं होतं, म्हणजे तुम्ही जर PDMBAमध्ये गेलात किंवा अजून कुठल्या कॉम्प्लेक्सेसमध्ये गेलात तर लोकांना ते भानच नसतं. बाहेरचे चपला बूट घालून आतमध्ये येतात. आता हे जे खेळतात ना त्यांच्याकरता हे मंदिरासारखी जागा आहे. त्याचं कारण असं की तुम्ही जसं मंदिरात चपला घालून जात नाही तसं बॅडमिंटन हॉलमध्ये सुद्धा बाहेरचे शूज घालून जायचं नसतं. त्याचं कारण असं की फ्लोरिंग खराब होतं आणि फ्लोरिंग खराब झाल्याने ॲक्सिडेंट्स होतात, त्याच्यावर चरे उठतात, खिळे निघून येतात. अशा बऱ्याचशा गोष्टी झालेल्या आहेत खूप लोकांच्या बाबतीमध्ये. तर त्याच्यामुळे पहिल्याच राईट ॲट द स्टार्ट वी थॉट की वी शुड सेपरेट द पब्लिक विच वुड कम फॉर सीइंग द कॉम्पिटिशन्स or parents who are accompanying their children, so they go directly up from this staircase. So this is the southern side staircase and the lift which is generally used, and only during the competitions or tournaments this staircase is used, which gives access to the spectators gallery. And then we wanted to connect this because from the fire hazard and a lot of other things, that you need to have this connection. So this bridge in itself, is a structural miracle, I would say, because that bridge spans around 24 meters or something, and we had a lot of issues with regards to the construction because the lower 2 floors were operational. We had only the top terrace and little bit area at the ground. So from the construction point of view also, so this bridge was actually fabricated at the ground level. It was lifted with cranes and it was put in the place. And this front side, so usually there are a lot of my friends who play badminton, and for us, after playing badminton, we want our chai, coffee and gappa. So that is something which is very essential for us. And that space has to be there. So obviously the first initial photograph which I showed, you get a good view of the cricket ground. So then we thought of, locating that cafeteria, which is kind of a self-service cafeteria, locating towards the, view side, which is the east side. So you can have the morning sun and, enjoy the view of the cricket ground. And this is that spectators gallery. Next. So this is the detailed plan. So you enter from here. So as you enter, on your left you have the gents changing areas, the toilets, the ladies changing areas, and the toilets. And this is that office space which is required, for the coaches and other staff members to sit. That's the reception area. There's a big lobby, and then you enter from here, and this is the court. That's the access to the cafeteria or the terrace, and there's a small kitchenette over here which can give service to the cafeteria. So for badminton, like I said earlier, there are two very important things from the sports point of view. One is the quality of light. You cannot have the liberty to have skylights in such sports complex, because no badminton player will tolerate a skylight and natural light getting into your eyes. I have seen certain examples with skylights in the badminton court. They look beautiful in pictures, but it is useless. It's a failure, I would say. And another important thing is the ventilation. So I very proudly say that this whole badminton hall is completely naturally ventilated. आता प्रॉब्लेम काय येतो सांगतो मी तुम्हाला, की बऱ्याचशा स्पोर्ट्स म्हणजे बॅडमिंटन हॉल्समध्ये व्हेंटिलेशन सिस्टीम लावलेली असते आणि त्या सिस्टीमचा आवाज इतका जास्त मोठा येतो की तुम्ही कॉन्सन्ट्रेट नाही करू शकत. सो देन वी डिसाइडेड की अरे देन वाय डू यू नीड इट. सो वी गॉट इन टच विथ अन एअर कंडिशनिंग कन्सल्टंट. त्यांना हे सगळं दाखवलं आणि त्यांनी एअर व्हॉल्यूम कॅल्क्युलेट केला आणि मग त्यांनी आम्हाला नॅचरली कसं व्हेंटिलेट करता येऊ शकेल, की ओपनिंग सायझेस किती द्यायला पाहिजेत, कुठे द्यायला पाहिजेत. सो त्या हिशोबाने हे डिझाईन केलं आहे. सो बेसिकली ॲट दिस लोअर लेवल, दॅट इज at a sill level of 0.45 meters, these are these openings which have these louvers. So why louvers? Basically wind's जो velocity है, it is cut down by those louvers, and a very moderate kind of a wind pressure or wind velocity is achieved. That is one. Secondly, in the playing area, only 0.2 meters per second wind velocity is tolerable. Anything more than that, सिंधू पळून जाईल. सो this shuttle sway होता कामा नये. And so हे झालं, this is towards the north side. And for the south side, we had a problem with this. So then what we did was we created small punctures through and through. सगळीकडनं punctures आहेत आणि louvers आहेत at lower level. आणि तिथून हे सगळं वारं जातं आणि इव्हेंच्युअली स्टॅक इफेक्टनी वरती जातं. सो I will show you the section as well. Next. Yeah, so this is the upper level plan. So you come up here. This initially we had thought of this as a tiered sitting, but then later on, after discussions, we decided to keep it flat so that it can be used flexibly. So you can have your warm-up areas at the upper level where you can keep your treadmills or a cycle, all those things. After this connecting bridge, you have this spectators arena. This can house around 300 spectators. बरेच वेळेला काय होतं, टुर्नामेंट जेव्हा चालू होतात तेव्हा तुमचा प्लेअर इकडून खेळतोय तेव्हा तुम्ही इकडे बसता आणि जेव्हा तो त्या साईडला जातो, कारण युजली 3 मॅचेसचं 3 गेम्सची एक मॅच असते आणि जेव्हा पलीकडे जातो मग होते पंचायत. मग म्हणून हा ब्रिजसुद्धा इसेन्शियल आहे की ज्यांना कोणाला जाऊन तिकडून बघायचं असेल. दुसरं, इफ यू लुक ॲट दीज स्मॉल जेटिंग आउट बाल्कनीज, आय वुड से, त्या कशा करतायत, तर आता टेक्नॉलॉजीचा ॲडव्हान्स खूप झालेला आहे आणि पेरेंट्स ऑल्सो हॅव बिकम व्हेरी पुशी ऑर in a way. They want to video shoot it or the coaches want to video shoot it. So when you have something like this or here, even if people are walking here, this person won't get disturbed. So these are those small, tiny additions which we did. Next. So the total area of this spectators arena is around 4,000, which includes this whole thing, including the bridge. Next. Yeah. So like I mentioned earlier, so we did the calculations for natural ventilation. So the overall building volume was around 4 lakh cubic feet. So considering 30 air changes. Now why do you need air changes? Basically, while you are playing, you need oxygen. So if you have good oxygen into that hall, the performance will be better. People won't get tired faster. So that is why you need 30 air changes. So we considered an average natural wind velocity of around 2.8 meters per second. And we shall require clear opening of around 350 square feet. Of course, that is distributed all around. And then we also thought of, what if we have to air condition this whole thing? आता पुण्यासारख्या ठिकाणी हे परवडणारच नाही एअर कंडिशन. मुंबईमध्ये ठीक आहे, जिथे तासाचे 1000-1500 द्यायला लोक तयार असतात. पुण्यामध्ये 300 रुपयांहून जास्त कोणी 1 तासाचे पैसे देत नाही. सो शेवटी इकॉनॉमिक्स येतं. तर एअर कंडिशनिंगचं सुद्धा सगळं कॅल्क्युलेशन तयार केलं. सो वी रिक्वायर्ड अराउंड 70 टन air conditioning capacity. And we have thought of places where we can keep that, AHU and where the blowers will come and all that. So the provision is there, but we haven't. And fortunately, with this kind of a ventilation system, you don't need it. As a player, I have experienced it in all the seasons, and it works absolutely well. Next. So that's the section which we are talking about. And if you look at this whole curve, we were looking to flatten it at the top so that we would be able to fit in solar panels. So around 280 solar panels can be fit over here, which can generate sufficient electricity which will cater to the whole Deccan Gymkhana. Now this is a project, solar is a project in itself because it requires a lot of money. So the provision is there. And this is that section which I'm talking about, the semicircular specters arena. And this is where we take this inlet of air. And this is the central portion where you need 0.2 meters per second air velocity. The height. Now, as per the Badminton World Federation standards, so there's a booklet, manual, and they have specified that if you have so and so things, then only you can have so and so level of competition or tournaments. So this can qualify for a national level tournament because of two things. One thing is the space for the court. Another thing is the height. So initially I had thought of 10 meters of height, and eventually through discussion we decided to lift that whole thing to 12 meters. So 12 meters height is needed to host any national level competition. Next. That's the lateral section so it indicates how the lights have been fitted. Next. That's the detailed section. Now, what happens is, this whole roof, this upper roof and this whole curvilinear semicircular spectator arena, it is thermally insulated. It has a 50 rock wool and a liner sheet from inside, and from outside you have, for this particular portion, we have the episoidal sheet, and for the upper portion, we went for standing seam section. Why standing seam? Because there is no drilling like this. Because usually what happens is, बरेच वेळ आणि being a badminton court, wooden flooring, आणि त्याच्यात पाणी पडणं म्हणजे nightmare. So then we decided to have standing seam. So पुढे अनेक वर्ष तिकडे कधी पाणी येऊ शकणार नाही. आणि वर्टिकल म्हणजे हा जो कर्व्हिलिनियर फॉर्म आहे, तिकडे पाणी पडलं तर चालू शकेल, कारण ते एनिवेज ते बाहेरच जाणार आहे, ते बॅडमिंटन कोर्टावरती पडणार नाही आहे. So that's how the section was developed. We introduced a small gutter because on this side we had these basketball court, and after we presented this design to Deccan Gymkhana, a lot of तिकडे अशा लॉबीज आहेत. सो एक बॅडमिंटन लॉबी आहे, एक बास्केटबॉल लॉबी आहे, एक अजून कोणीतरी लॉबी आहे, आणि मग प्रत्येकजण आपल्याशी एकमेकांशी चालू असतं त्यांचं द्वंद्व. तर मग त्यांच्यापैकी कोणीतरी म्हटलं, अहो मग ते वरचं पाणी आमच्या बास्केटबॉल कोर्टात येईल, मग ते सगळं भरून जाईल आमचं, आणि मग बास्केटबॉल कधी खेळायचं. अहो म्हटलं, जेव्हा पाऊस पडणार आहे तेव्हा तुम्ही खेळूच शकणार नाही आहात. नाही पण ते चोक झालं तर काय करायचं, आणि ऑल दॅट अँड then because of their insistence we introduced a gutter over here. So let us say at least half of this water will go here. It is taken down through this column, this pipe, and then below there is a bigger pipe which throws out the water. Air movement happens because of temperature changes. Air travels from cold to hot. So obviously at the upper level, because of a little bit of heat radiation, this portion is hot. So this drives this outside air from here and it travels upwards, and there's a line of louvers, this side, so that hot air is evacuated. This also has, we have kept the provision of exhaust fans. These are particularly silent exhaust fans, so they don't cause disturbance while the play is on. And that can be used because you never know this. Today, this hall is a badminton hall, but tomorrow, maybe after 15 years, somebody might come and say, we want to make it a community hall. So you have to, in public projects, you have to think of the wildest possibilities of how that project may be or can be used. Because the initial reaction, immediate reaction, oh wow, एवढा मोठा हॉल, चला मग इकडे आपण पुढचं गाण्याचा कार्यक्रम करूया डेक्कन जिमखानाचा. All these conversations started happening. And then this is a very beautiful section and it has worked immensely well. This is a sitting, and this sitting is actually in fabrication completely. And then we were looking at what kind of material, which is lightweight material, strong enough. So what we did was we created a span of 4 feet so that we could fit in a full plywood. It's a MR waterproof grade plywood. And then we coated it with epoxy paint so that, it lasts long. And then what we did was we created jalis in this. So these jalis actually make your spectators arena sitting ventilated, just like your car seats. Nowadays you have these ventilated seats and all. So that works. I mean, whoever has doubt, my open challenge, do come and visit Deccan Gymkhana and see this magic. So that's how it works. So we have provided fans and all in this area, but you don't need it. There's a gangway on both the sides. That's the light fitting support. And, few of my badminton friends play with me are here. आणि ह्याला आम्ही थंड हवेचं ठिकाण म्हणतात बरेच लोक. सो खेळ झाल्यानंतर आपण घामाघूम झालेलो असतो, तर इकडे या बाजूला येऊन बसलं की छान वारा येतो इथून. पण फॉर्च्युनेटली तो वारा शटल स्वेईंग करत नाही. नेक्स्ट. सो हे जे मी मगाशी म्हणलं.
Sir, we have 2 more minutes for the presentation.
चालेल. So this is the standard section of standing sieve with a insulation, and that's the wooden flooring detail. Next. हे मला खरं डिटेलमध्ये सांगायचं आहे, मी थोडक्यात सांगतो. सो लाइटिंग बिकेम अ व्हेरी इम्पॉर्टंट पार्ट. सो आम्ही एंडोचे हाय एंड फिटिंग्स घेतले LED लाइटिंगमधले, विच कॉस्टेड अराउंड 35 lakhs. Then we took a quotation for Havells 120 watts, which costed 5 lakhs. And then regular Philips tube light, which costed around 1,92,000. And each one of them had its own disadvantages and advantages. Next. So we did a comparative analysis of की एंडो लावलं तर तासाला किती रुपये लागतील. 1100 वॅट जर इलेक्ट्रिसिटी पाहिजे असेल, लक्स पाहिजे असेल तर. हेवल्स लावले तर किती लागतील, आणि फिलिप्स लावले तर 1100 मिळूच शकत नाही, 900 मिळूच शकत नाही. 450 मध्ये 450 लक्स तुम्हाला 160 रुपये मिळेल. 160 divided by 4. So eventually we decided to go in for Havells 120 watts, which costed around 96 rupees for 4 courts divided by 4. So that is the charge of electricity which they have to charge to the players. Next. Similar calculations were done for the solar photovoltaic. So overall consumption was 14,638 units. Proposed badminton hall consumption was this much. So we eventually showed them that you can have 95% of electrical savings. Next. So it all started with models. Next. And that's the construction photographs. So trusses were casted, fabricated at the top terrace. This bridge was lifted by the crane and fit into this space. Then the roofing and the sheets cladding. That's how it was. That's where it was lifted. Next. 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 So a lot of passionate badminton players, seniors, young players, they used to tell me, ask me, when can you show us? So he's Mr. Agashe, who is 80 years of age, and he still plays badminton. Next. Next. So this is how the structure was getting constructed next. So that's the spectators arena next. The cladding, the roofing, next, next. So everything was done now, and the last thing was the flooring. So this flooring was leveled, and then laying of those battens and everything started next. So that's how the structure looks from the cricket ground side. Next. That's the basketball courts. And then we decided to, have probably this photo, the color is not getting real. But we wanted to have green color so that it camouflages itself. We didn't want that building to be highlighted. And similarly, selecting this earthy shade for the roofing also helped, because normally for those roofings, when you see those murky water stains. So this helps. Next. Next. So that's how the badminton hall looks from inside. That's the connecting bridge. So basically, for the indoors also, we had to go in for these darker colors so that one could spot the shuttles prominently. Next. This was the first tournament which was held at Deccan Gymkhana. Next. 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 That's the connecting bridge. Next. 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 That's how it is. So now it has become kind of an icon, a landmark for people to, get next. So this is our award-winning team. They are the contractors, Mr. Patankar and Wag, structure engineer S.W. Mone, Mr. Girish Inamdar, he was the, I think, finance secretary, Mr. Mir Kelkar, who is the secretary, is Mr. Aniruddha Kelkar, he's a reputed builder, engineer. He is Mr. Sachin Godbole, who did the electricals for us. Next. So that's the team. And thank you very much. I would quickly like to play a small video, if time permits. Can you just go? Yeah. So पहिल्यांदा मी तुम्हाला बॅडमिंटन प्लेयर जर बघितला तर त्याचा मसल अँड मसल दिसतो आणि ह्या स्ट्रक्चरमध्ये प्रत्येक मसल अँड मसल म्हणजे आय वुड से की ते स्ट्रक्चरल मेंबर्स आर व्हेरी ते कुठे कव्हर नाही केलेले जे आहे ते आहे. मनाली, can you play the next one? एकच आहे, एकच व्हिडिओ छोटासा. वरचा प्ले करा, फर्स्ट वन.
हाय मुझम्मिल, वेलकम टू डेक्कन जिमखाना.
काय होतं की ॲज अ आर्किटेक्ट तुम्ही डिझाईन करत असता, तुम्हाला छानच वाटतं ना की चांगलं प्रोजेक्ट झालं आहे. पण शेवटी एंड युजर कोण आहे आणि एंड युजरला काय वाटतं, कदाचित त्याचा तो आर्किटेक्चरकडे बघतच नसतो, तो त्याच्या गेमकडे बघत असतो आणि त्याच्या दृष्टीने ते कसं आहे हे जास्त महत्त्वाचं आहे. सो he's Mr. Muzambil, who came all the way from Rajasthan to play a tournament over here, and let us see what he says.
Badminton courts. So how is your feel? You seem to be a pro player and seem to be participating in a lot of such competitions which are held. So this is the first time we are hosting this tournament at Deccan Gymkhana, which is a newly built badminton hall. So what are your observations, your experiences? How did you find the courts? So can you just throw some light on that?
Yes. It was amazing courts. So I love the infrastructures, and when I went into the court, I got that feeling that it's an international court. So we need proper skills, stamina in this court. So best coach in Pune. Amazing feeling.
Thank you
Hope
so
to
much.
play again in this coach.
Cool. So Muzambil has come all the way from Rajasthan to play a tournament here, and he is a passionate and a trained badminton player, if I can say so.
Thank you so much.
So thank you so much, Muzambil.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Hello, hi.
Welcome to Deccan Gymkhana.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ravi, and thank you, Omkar. I'll just quickly move to my presentation slides here. Yeah. All right, thank you very much. That deserves a louder round of applause, I'm sure.